Well, most of it, if not all of it, was my own doing. But I was purpose. I had no purpose out there. As a performer, we need purpose.
Bob Dylan is an American singer, songwriter, artist, and writer. Often regarded as one of the greatest songwriters of all time, Dylan has been a major figure in popular culture during a career spanning 60 years. He's received numerous awards, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, 10 Grammy Awards, a Golden Globe Award, and an Academy Award. Dylan's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame, and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. The Pulitzer Prize Board in 2008 awarded him a special citation for his profound impact on popular music and American culture, marked by a lyrical composition of extraordinary poetic power.
Dead playing a tour, and couldn't really get at the stuff they wanted me to do, and I was going to call it a day.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Robert Allen Zimmerman, but is also known as Bob Dylan, Blind Boy Grunt, Bobby, The Brad, the Voice of Protest, the Voice of a Generation, Zimbo, Zimmy, Shabtai Zessel Ben Avraham, Elston Gunn, Bob Landy, Robert Milkwood Thomas, Tatum Porterhouse, Lucky Wilbury. He was born May 24, 1941 in Duluth, Minnesota, making him 80 at the time of this production. He stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall, or 1.71 meters. Dylan says his favorite song that references him is Ricky Nelson's Garden Party, but he doesn't have much love for Don McLean's American Pie, in which he's repeatedly referenced as a jester. A jester, Dylan said? Sure, the jester writes songs like Masters of War, A Hard Rain's a Gonna Fall, It's All Right Ma, some jester. I have to think he's talking about somebody else. Ask him. He reads works by French symbolist poets like Arthur Rimbaud and American beat writers like Jack Kerouac. The on-the-road writer's spontaneous style blew a hole in my head, Dylan once remarked. He's a hip-hop fan. Dylan raved about Ice-T, Public Enemy, NWA, and Run DMC. They were all poets and knew what was going on, he wrote. Some consider his own 1965 track, Subterranean Homesick Blues, to be one of the first popular modern rap songs. When asked who his favorite songwriters were, Bob Dylan said, Buffett, I guess, Lightfoot, Warren Zevon, Randy, John Prine, Guy Clark, those kinds of writers. Since 1994, Dylan has published 8 books of drawings and paintings, and his work has been exhibited in major art galleries. In 2016, Dylan was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for having created new poetic expressions within the great American song tradition. Dylan saw Buddy Holly play live locally just a few days before he died in a plane crash. In his book, Dylan revealed that aside from Guthrie and Irish folk group the Clancy Brothers, the biggest influences on his songwriting were blues legend Robert Johnson and Pirate Jenny, a song from the Brecht wheel play, The Threepenny Opera. Dylan once visited artist and filmmaker Andy Warhol when he came to pick up actress-model Eddie Sedgwick, with whom he was dating at the time, and found himself the subject of Warhol's movie camera. Dylan responded by picking up an original Warhol painting and taking it with him for payment for being filmed, which he first used as a dartboard, then traded for a sofa. He's been involved in several serious relationships. The first one was with Susie Rotolo, an artist and the daughter of American Communist Party radicals. Then he became involved with the folk singer Joan Baez, and the two often performed together. In 1965, Dylan married Sarah Lones. They had 4 children together, and Dylan also adopted Lone's daughter from a previous marriage. They divorced in 1977. In 1986, Dylan married Carolyn Dennis, his backup singer, They had one daughter together before divorcing in 1992.
Either way, I'm sure everybody has revelations in their life at one time or another, but for me it was hearing this little jazz band combo.
His parents raised him in a close-knit Jewish community in Duluth for the first 6 years of his life before moving to his mother's hometown, Hibbing, Minnesota. There, his father and paternal uncles ran a store selling furniture and appliances. While Dylan was a student at Hibbing High School, he formed several bands. In 1959, he enrolled at the University of Minnesota and joined the fraternity Sigma Alpha Mu. It was while he was a college student that he began performing regularly at a coffee house near campus, the 10 O'Clock Scholar. He also involved himself in the Dinkytown folk music circuit. After dropping out of college at the end of his freshman year, Dylan traveled to New York City in 1961 to perform. It was through the performances and connections he made during this time that he got the opportunity to play the harmonica on Carolyn Hester's third album. The album's producer, John Hammond, was impressed by Dylan and signed him to Columbia Records. Dylan's first album, Bob Dylan, was released in March 1962. It failed to garner much attention and only sold 5,000 copies in its first year. However, Hammond and songwriter Johnny Cash continued to support Dylan despite his setback. His second album, The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, featured songs with lyrical material that touched on social and political topics and helped establish him as an accomplished singer-songwriter, as well as a political figure that served as a voice for his generation of young Americans concerned with things like the civil rights movement and nuclear disarmament. His third album, The Times They Are A-Changin', continued his use of politically charged materials and was followed by a more lyrically abstract Another Side of Bob Dylan later that year. In total, he's released over 35 studio albums, including Nashville Skyline, Oh Mercy, Time Out of Mind, Love and Theft, and Rough and Rowdy Ways. Since June 7, 1988, Dylan has been on what's dubbed as the Never-Ending Tour. In the 1990s and 2000s, he played around 100 shows a year. The 3,000th show of the tour occurred on April 19, 2019 in Innsbruck, Austria.
To the core of what this Rolling Thunder thing is all about. And I don't have a clue, because it's about nothing. It's just something that happened 40 years ago.
He sold more than 125 million records, making him one of the best-selling musicians of all time. His songs have been covered by over 6,000 popular artists. The cover version frequently becomes more popular than the Dylan version. Dylan didn't mind. Every time one of his songs was covered, sold, streamed, broadcast, etc., he got paid. In recent years, he was earning an estimated $15 million per year in income from his song catalog royalty stream. In December 2020, it was reported that Bob sold 100% of his song catalog to Universal Music Publishing Group for $300 million. 2 months later, the actual sale price was revealed to be $400 million. In January 2022, it was revealed that at some point in mid-2021, Bob struck a separate deal with Sony where the music company acquired his master records for $200 million. Bob Dylan has a net worth of $500 million. When not touring, Dylan is believed to live primarily in Point Dume, a promontory on the coast of Malibu, California. Though he owns property around the world, he purchased the home for just $105,000 in 1979 and has since scooped up surrounding properties, turning it into a compound with the main house sprawling 6,000 square feet with 6 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms. He has the following vehicles in his garage: a Harley Davidson, a 1962 Ford wagon, a Triumph 500 motorcycle, a 1966 Ford Mustang convertible.